Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 Digital Daily Update. I really hope my computer has enough juice to last through this update. We'll see. It's going to be fun. Should have brought my charger up here. Our house guests of the day are Victoria King and Matthew Cordova. Thank you both so much for the support. We couldn't do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right. So also, Mom is going to be in the chat, so make sure you say hey. All right, so when we left off yesterday, Renee is the HOH. Can you believe it? She's preparing to make her nominations, and pretty much the only game conversation that we saw yesterday was Renee talking to Kuzi. Oh, hi, there she is. So Renee told Kuzi, don't worry, you're not going up. I am targeting Ty this week. I want to put him up right off the bat. She is very confident that this move is going to go through. Is it? I'm not as confident. I mean, I hope she's right. I feel like she's trying to manifest it. I hope it works out for her. But she is not sure who to put up on the block next to Ty, but she's telling Kuzi it's not gonna be you. Okay, so I mean that leaves like Daniel and Anika, right? Because Renee's not gonna put up one of her girly pops right now. So that was yesterday. Now let's talk about today's Digital Daily. It was yesterday in the Big Brother house, day 49. Before we get going on that, thank you so much, Jody Cortez, for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, we're winding down here. It's almost over. It's crazy. I feel like this season has gone so fast. Maybe just because we haven't had live feeds, I don't feel as beaten down. I don't know, but it feels a lot faster. And William Dang, thank you so much for the super chat. William says, shout to Kuzi, who somehow managed to survive another week with odds against her. It's indicative how her social game is one of the most impressive. For sure. I'm not going to jinx it and say that she's surviving this week yet because I'm nervous for her if Ty wins the veto. But I'm hoping she's going to be okay. She really does have an amazing social game. All right. So today's Digital Daily started with Kuzi looking through the books in the library. It was just a quick clip. I think she is realizing like she could be in trouble if the veto is used. So she's just trying to like see if there's another twist going on in that library, right? So then the camera flips to Anika, Claudia, and Shania chatting in the living room. And this conversation, it sounds an awful lot like some of these people are jealous / bitter about Renee winning HOH this week. I would say Shania more than Claudia. Claudia was like, wow, look at Renee's game. You know, she was dead last week one. She's sat on the block 4 times already, and she can make it to the end. You know, we're getting close here. And Shania's like, yeah, well, I did all that too. You know, people often forget that I was just as vulnerable as her. I was also dead ass week 1, but I won the competition so that I could be safe. And I won the veto to pull Renee down that one time. I think Shanae is feeling a little insecure now that Renee has won an HOH because what has Shania done besides like win that one POV? She doesn't have a lot going on in that resume. I think for a while she was like, wow, I'm at least better than Renee. And now she's like, oh crap, Renee has an HOH win under her belt. So I think she's feeling a little insecure about that. But Claudia was counting Renee's potential jury votes. I don't think Renee's got a chance to beat anybody at this point. I mean, things could change depending on what she does the rest of the game. If she like goes on some competition, what's the word I'm looking for? If she like wins out her way to the end and she's like taking out all these people, then maybe like she'll get some votes. But as it stands right now, I don't think Renee's really got much of a chance to win. So Shania asks Anika, is it weird right now between you, Kuzi, and Daniel? Because like Kuzi is trying to stay off the block, you know, that might be like making weird vibes. So they keep bringing up, apparently at one point, Kuzi went up to Shania and Claudia. And, you know, she's being Kuzi. She's joking around. She's having fun. She keeps going around to people saying, like, I humbly ask you to keep me this week. Like, we've seen her do that before. We saw her do that asking for votes last week. And I guess this time she was saying to Shania and Claudia in front of Daniel, like, I'm just a poor girl. I want to stay here. You know, I need the money. I want the money, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like every time Claudia and Shania bring it up, they're expecting people to be like, oh, so messed up. And like, how could she say that in front of Daniel? But everyone's responses seem to be, for the most part, like, Kuzi is so funny. Like, she's hilarious when she does stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, Claudia visits Ty in the flamingo room because Ty has been spending a lot of time on his own by choice. So, Claudia is asking Ty, are you going to talk to Renee? Like before noms. And Ty's like, what would I talk about? Like, I don't have any game to talk with her because as long as I'm here, I'm going to be a target. Keep shooting until you hit. So Claudia's like, oh my God, can you believe Kuzi came up to me and Shania in front of Daniel? And she's like going through the whole story again. Kuzi's begging for her life. And of course, Ty's like, yeah, Kuzi's hilarious. All right. So then Ty says, this week, I'm going to come through in the clutch and win that veto, as always, and you guys are going to be pissed, as always, when it happens. I'm not going to lie, I will be really pissed if that happens. Can Ty just, like, go already? We've had enough, or at least I have. So, yeah, but he's very confident that he's going to be able to get himself out of this again, and honestly, he's got a good chance. He is, by far, the strongest competitor left in this game. So, during this conversation, too, Claudia and Ty are, like, flirting and giggling and talking about whether or not they should sleep in the same room. Is it going to look too suspicious? Claudia says she's just bummed that Ty is choosing to spend so much time by himself. She wants him to come out and hang out with all of them. So Ty's like, Claudia, if I don't win this whole thing, you better win. No thanks. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right, Mom. She jumped on top of Ty, like, before she left the room to go get ready for the day, which she must have said, like, 5 times. I gotta go get ready for the day. These two need to stop. It's enough. It's enough already. So then we were treated to a long time of Shania trying to wax her nose hairs. Honestly, maybe I'm not worldly, but like I've never really heard of anyone trying to wax their nose hairs. I thought that was more of like a trimming situation or like plucking if you're nasty. But waxing nose hairs, insane. Absolute insanity. So she was struggling through that for a while. And then we got to see Kuzi and Daniel in the toucan room. And Daniel is spiraling. He is freaking out. It sounds like Daniel is going up next to Ty, or at least he thinks he will be going up next to Ty. So Daniel's saying like, oh, I hate that Renee is going to be the one to put me up on the block and like end my streak of never being nominated. And he's like, if I go, at least jury will be fun. And he's like, my petty side is coming out. And like, I'm not even up on the block yet. So he's like, I just can't stop rolling my eyes at Renee, and I don't even want her to look at me or look in my direction, like, after she nominates me. Oh my God, get a grip. This is like the first time that Daniel has had to like deal with anything negative in this game, and he's like freaking out. So Daniel is alone at one point, and he's like, Ika has been in some crazy situations, and she was able to get out of it. Yeah, but like, she's Ika. So Daniel's like, what do I do? Do I just offer to go up on the block? And then at least I'll be guaranteed to play in the power veto? Because remember, only one person besides the HOH is going to be sitting out this power veto competition. So he's nervous. Like, what if I'm not nominated and I don't get to play? That would suck. He's really nervous, like in that situation. What if I don't get to play and then I get put up as a replacement nominee? He says he'll be pissed if that happens. But if he does volunteer to go up on the block and then Ty comes down and Anika goes up next to him, he feels like he's in trouble. He really thinks that everybody's going to want to keep Anika over him. And I think like Girly Pop's faux show would vote to keep Anika over him. I don't know what Kuzi or Ty would do in that situation, but Daniel says, I guess it's best to try to stay off the block and just like let people convince Renee to put Kuzi up. And he's saying, I can't let that one person that I don't have a relationship with take me out. I mean, maybe you should have like tried to talk to Renee earlier in the game. Isn't that kind of on you? So then Daniel, he's still freaking out. He goes to talk to Ty in the library and he's like, I've come here for advice. And he asks Ty, should I offer to go up on the block? So Ty's like, no, because the girls want to get rid of all the guys. Don't make it easier for them. And Ty feels like the girly pops and Anika are going to work together to go to the final four, and Kuzi is going to be all alone. So Daniel's like, Renee is for sure like not going to put up Kuzi, right? Like there's no chance of that. Like, should I even bother trying for that? They don't seem to think it's going to happen, which I would agree. I don't think that Renee would put Kuzi up right off the bat. Maybe after the POV, but not right off the bat. So Daniel seems pretty convinced. There's a good chance that Ty is going to win this power veto, and then Daniel's afraid he's going to be stuck on the block next to Anika. So Daniel throws out an idea. He's like, all right, say I don't go up on the block. Say it's Ty and Anika. What if I win the power veto and I use it on Ty, and then Renee will be forced to put Kuzi up next to Anika? We vote Kuzi out. Boo! Hate it. Hate that. They're getting a lot of joy out of this. They're like, oh my God, that'd be so funny. So Ty says, I'm gonna be gunning for that POV. So like he's basically saying like good luck going up against me. But they both regret not taking out Renee earlier. Honestly, they've both brought up earlier in the game, like Renee needs to go. She's going to be a threat later on. And they really are wishing that they had kept Santina with the chain of safety vote. So Daniel's saying, Renee will never win. I'm never going to give her my vote. So bitter. And he's like, of course I'm going to vote for like the best player, but it's not any of them. So Daniel says, if Ty wins the power of veto and stays, he better win this whole thing. What happened to the crown? Wanting the crown to win over anyone else. Daniel says he's going to be a petty ass juror. I always knew when they formed the crown that Daniel was going to be the stinker in the group. You can go back and check. We were always like, oh, Daniel's in there? Yeah, Daniel was never loyal. No way. So anyway, Ty advises Daniel to possibly volunteer to go up on the block, guarantee his chance to play for the power veto. And Ty seems pretty convinced that it's either going to be him, Daniel, or Kuzi leaving this week. Daniel doesn't think that Renee would put up Kuzi. But again, it seems like Renee would not put up Kuzi as initial nominee, but she would put her up after the power veto if Ty comes down. So then Daniel is just crabbing that if he goes up, he's not going to have a clean record anymore. He won't be able to say, I didn't go up at all throughout the season. And he knows he needs that because he does not have much going on his resume. I mean, that's all he has right now besides that one secret POV win. When he like saved Ty. Ew. So then they're laughing about what a meltdown the girls would have if Daniel won the power veto and used it on Ty. I'm not gonna lie, I would be super freaking pissed. I would definitely have a meltdown about it for sure. Can you imagine? Oh my God. But anyway, that would be like the ultimate betrayal to Kuzi. That would be really messed up. So anyway, after Mom says 0% chance of winning. I mean, you never know. He did win a veto before. You never know what the competition's going to be. So Daniel's alone again in the toucan room, and he is continuing to spiral. He doesn't know what to do. So Kuzi, he says Kuzi is in more with the girly pops than Ty is. So he says, if I win POV, I may need to save Ty. I have to keep myself off the block first, though. So then a little later, Anika joins him, and she's telling Daniel, do everything you can to stay off the block. She doesn't seem concerned that she would be going up, but I mean, Anika is in a much safer spot with the girly pops than Daniel is. So here they go. They agree that Renee is not going to put up Kuzi as an initial nominee, but maybe they can get her up there as a replacement. And Daniel's asking Anika, what did you talk about with Renee at Wendy's? Because they had just done their Wendy's date, and I didn't hear who the server was. We didn't get that in the digital daily. But Anika said, Renee told me that she feels like next week, me, you, Claudia, and Shania are going to target her. Oh, Renee clocked that 4 because they are definitely against her. So Anika's like, Kuzi put that in Renee's head. She was right though. And Daniel says, "You're kidding me." He's definitely freaking out. Honestly, I love to see Daniel and Anika sweat because they have had it so easy in this game so far. But yeah, Daniel is freaking out. So then we get a very short clip of Renee practicing her nomination speech in the HOH room. We only really heard what she was going to say about Ty, basically like, "You're the definition of a comp beast. You had no problem putting me up on the block when you were HOH." So that was that. Yeah. And then we see the girly pops meeting in the flamingo room. A says, "I think the Wendy server was BBCan Topaz." No, Topaz was the last one. I mean, maybe they had her do it again, but I feel like they got someone different. But Topaz was last week. BBCan Manor fam all over again. There will never be another like that. So yeah, girly pops meeting in the flamingo room. Claudia is asking Renee, what did Anika say during the Wendy's date? How is her relationship with Kuzi right now? Because they can see there is tension in that trio of Kuzi, Anika, and Daniel. And Renee's like, Anika, you know, she's got her reservations for sure. And then Renee is saying, like, I'm confident that Ty is going to go this week. The move will go through. Well, I hope you're right. Claudia says, "I do have a concern that if Kuzi stays, she is going to target me if she wins HOH again." And yes, I agree. Kuzi would definitely target Claudia. And Renee's like, "Yeah, but I would only consider putting Kuzi up if Ty comes off the block." So Claudia and Shanae are like, yeah, we agree. It doesn't make sense to put Kuzi up on the block right away, for sure. So I have to mention too, Shanae kept interrupting the game talk to ask about her outfit, which is just like so indicative of what her game has been like this season of not much. I was like, please stop. Like, read the room. We're trying to like do some game talk here. And you keep asking like if you should wear these flower earrings or whatever. She was putting a lot of work into this look for the nomination ceremony. It's gonna be like 2 minutes or less on the show, and you're not being nominated. So why do you care so much? Mom says wet seal vibes. I could see that. Um, yeah, so it was just like a lot. But Claudia is telling Renee, it makes sense for your game if you want to put Daniel up next to Ty. And Renee's like, honestly, it makes sense for Daniel or Anika. She's not sure that she wants to be the one to break Daniel's streak of not being nominated. Oh my God, you should want to nominate him for that reason, girl. So I don't get that. But they agree they want to keep Anika around the most out of that 3 of Anika, Daniel, and Kuzi, probably because they think that they can beat Anika the easiest, right? They would have a chance maybe against her in the final 2. I mean, really, what has Anika done? It kills me the way like Anika and Daniel will say like, oh, girly pops like don't deserve to be here. Like they haven't done anything. Like they have 0% chance of winning in the end. But like when you think about it, really, what have Anika and Daniel done in this game besides work with the powerful players? Not much. So anyway, Shania says if Daniel does go up, it's going to help my game because then I will be the only one who hasn't been nominated yet. And again, that's pretty much one of the only things that Shania has going for her. The whole like going to the final 2 and saying like I've never been nominated before. It only works in certain situations. If you have like an amazing social game or whatever, and you've actually like made moves behind the scenes in the game, you've never been nominated, whatever, that's cool. That's awesome. That's like a feather in your cap. But if you've never been nominated because no one sees you as a threat and like you're not doing anything, you're just coasting along, that does not carry the same amount of weight to me. I don't know if everybody feels the same way, but for me, it's like, really? I mean, okay, congratulations. You haven't faced any adversity in this game. So, I mean, it depends what kind of game you play. That's not like the be all end all. Like, I've never been nominated. So anyway, Renee says that's cool, but I'm leaning towards putting up Anika because I feel like she will be more understanding about it. Maybe I can also salvage a relationship with Daniel. I don't think so. The way that Daniel talks about Renee He's got a lot of disdain for her. I don't see any salvaging that. But Claudia says, I'm starting to feel like Daniel and Anika want to take a shot at Kuzi, potentially like next week. I mean, sort of. They definitely would sacrifice Kuzi to save themselves. I don't know if they would get rid of Kuzi before they get rid of like Renee, though. Like, I do see them wanting to go to the final four with Claudia and Shania. I think that is for real. But I think they would at least target Renee before they go for Kuzi. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But nominations should have happened last night. It was likely Ty and Anika going up, maybe Daniel instead of Anika. But the power veto competition is happening today in real time. It's an important one. So we'll see who wins that. I think if it's anyone other than Ty, nominations will stay the same unless Daniel decides to freaking save Ty. You never know. But again, that would be a huge slap in the face to Kuzi. So I don't know if he would actually go through with that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Kenny D, thank you so much for that juicy super chat. You are so kind. Yes, Kenny D says save Kuzi. Please. We want Kuzi to stay, right? But thank you so much. That's all I got today. So we gotta wait until Monday to find out who won this veto. This would be a really great time to get some like verified spoilers about that POV winner, but I think okay. So LND says it would be a huge slap in the face to Anika too if Daniel leaves her on the block to save Ty. I honestly feel like Anika would be okay with it, knowing that they would be getting rid of Kuzi. Because I think she would trust that Kuzi is the one going. I think she would see the bigger picture there. But yeah, oh my goodness. We'll see what happens. We don't even know who's playing, who's sitting out. Like, it's a whole thing. But thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to our super chatters and our patrons. We will be back on Monday for the next Digital Daily Update. Hope you all have a great weekend. I got to plug in my computer. So until next time, much love. Bye.